A of Euro 2024.
Let's start with Germany, shall we, Theo? They didn't have to qualify, but you know what? In friendlies since Qatar, they've lost 6 of them and 12 games in major tournaments without keeping a clean sheet. It's not looking too good, is it?
Well, Dad, when you're the host nation, you have the advantage. Everybody's talking. You want to shine in front of your friends and family, and actually, in some recent friendlies, they've only gone and beaten France and the Netherlands, so maybe there's a chance.
But Theo, they've got a little bit of an ageing squad. You look at the likes of Manuel Neuer, Toni Kroos, Thomas Müller, Ilkay Gundogan. Surely those players are past it.
Well, there are some players past it, but there's also a new generation, Thogdad. I feel like we're seeing a new gen Kai Havertz up top, but in a 4-2-3-1 fluid system by Nagelsmann, the likes of Musiala will be shining, won't he, Thogdad?
Yes.
And next to Florian Wirtz, them two could cause problems. And we're not just talking about one player from Leverkusen. We've got Rob Andrick to play in midfield with the main man, Toni Kroos. His final matches before retirement. He'll want to end it on another trophy, won't he, Dad?
Absolutely. I was joking about him earlier. He is a fantastic player.
Yeah.
Then you've got the likes of Kai Havertz, Theo.
Yeah.
People were memeing him a year ago, but we saw how good he is
The way
in
to
the Premier
describe him,
League.
Dad, he's a big game player.
Yes.
So when a Euros comes round, you should have your eyes on him. And it's caused a lot of problems that the likes of Goretzka haven't made the international call on. Mats Hummels wasn't either. But when you see the options at centre-back, and you look at Tony Rudiger and Schlotterbeck and Jonathan Tah, who's a league winner, this could be a Euros winning side, and that's why I'm predicting it straight to first place in Group A.
And I agree with first place, but can they win the whole tournament? I don't think so. Hungary now, and half of the squad value is Dominic Szoboszlai, Theo. Have they got any chance of getting through to the knockouts?
Well, Dad, he's the captain. He's the one leading the line. And actually, they're unbeaten in 12 games if recent matches matter at all. I feel like Hungary are always in and amongst it. They always turn up with that 3-4-2-1 fluid system. Nego at left back, Salah attacking with Szoboszlai. There's going to be interesting players. The ones that you don't even know which club they play for. But as a nation, they come together.
That is true. Kirkes from Bournemouth, the young lad, he'll be playing, Theo. But overall, I don't think there's enough in the tank. I'm putting them 4th.
Barnabas Varga, remember the name. He's been very good at the Euro qualifiers, scoring important goals. But overall as a team, I've also put them 4th place, though, Dad.
Scotland now, Theo,
Yes.
and do not write them off, Theo, because they've got Scott McTominay from Manchester United. How good was he in qualifying?
He's been brilliant. Had 7 goals and 8 appearances. He should have just been a striker.
He should, Theo. Talking to strikers, you've got the likes of Shea Adams. He can bag a goal. You've got a very combative team, haven't you? You've got John McGinn in there, Billy Gilmore, and you've got the talent of Andy Robertson. Some really quality players in Scotland shirts.
Now, we're wearing England shirts, and we don't want to be biased or against Scotland. I'd like to see them get out this group some way or another. I'd like to see someone like Lawrence Shankland given a spot up top with 24 goals in the SPL this year. He's the sort of player that deserves a chance. I know they've got experience with Robertson and Tierney at the back, but is it enough overall as a squad to get out this tough group?
Well, what will be great for them, Theo, is the Tartan Army. They'll have the kilts on. They will travel in force. Now, I can see them losing narrowly to Germany. I can see them drawing with Switzerland. That is nailed on. What matters here is the game against Hungary. If they can win that, they can finish 2nd or 3rd.
I'm going to predict them to finish 3rd, though. Whether they make it through a playoff, I don't know.
Theo, I'm wearing an England shirt, but I am part Scottish through my mum's side of the family, and I really want the Scots to go through here, and I think they will, because I think they'll beat Hungary and finish 3rd. And finally, Switzerland, the 5 last major tournaments they've been in, they've got through to the knockouts.
Yes.
Granit Xhaka as captain, a reasonable squad.
One thing I want to mention before anything, Zeki Amdouni. Watch out for him. He hasn't had the most incredible year at Burnley, but 6 goals in 10 appearances in the Euro qualifiers. A very sweet left foot, brilliant sort of player. Xhaka leading the line, he's just come away with the Bundesliga. Then you've got Shaqiri, who...
Shaqiri.
I don't even know where he's been, Dad, but when a European tournament comes round, he's scoring goals with Mbolo up top, aren't they?
That is true, and we saw Switzerland at Wembley, didn't we, Theo, in Euro 2021, really, wasn't it? They are a very hard team to beat. This is the thing about Switzerland. I can see 2 or 3 draws here.
I think they will finish 2nd in this group, because
Yes.
they'll get it done.
And I think they'll finish 2nd because I think they'll draw with Germany and Scotland and beat Hungary.
The group of death. Group B. Who are we starting with?
We're going to start with Albania, Theo, who are 500 to 1 outsiders. Lovely country, passionate about football, but I'm sorry, they are the whipping boys of the group.
Well, I've been to their home stadium, Air Albania, in the middle of Tirana. Lovely place. And you know what? To make it in qualifiers, they were quality. At home, they beat Poland and Czechia. They are a very, very tough side in front of that home crowd. But in Germany, against Spain, Italy, Croatia, If they find a way out here, I'll get an Albania tattoo on my arse.
Except you won't, Theo. But you know what? I kind of agree that there's a maximum 1 point here. They're not going to go anywhere. 4th place.
If you don't put them 4th, you're crazy. Albanians in the comments, I'm sure you're going to be confident, but I don't know.
Croatia, lovely small country who've been overperforming in football terms for a very long time.
Folk that hating.
Not hating, Luka Modric has been sensational, but he's 38 years old. Surely this is his swan song. This is his last appearance in a major tournament.
But Luka Modric is still incredible. We see when he comes off the bench for Madrid, he's still got it. I want to talk about some new names. Borna Sousa, who could come in at left back.
What, you said Kaiser Soze?
Borna Sousa,
okay.
Lovro Majer, all these boys. He's in at right wing. That's already around a very experienced 11, shall we say. Perisic, Gvardiol now, he'll be guarding the goal. And they'll have that Croatian bird in the stands. They never lose when she's in the stands.
Theo, why do you always talk about her? Have you got a thing for her?
Well, she actually ignored me. Do you remember when she ignored me
I know, that was
outside
so
the
funny.
stadium in Qatar? Fuming.
Mateo Kovacic, what a player he's been this season.
Still got it. That's important. And that's why I think they're going to finish 2nd.
They won't, Theo. This is a step too far.
No.
3rd place, but they will get through to the knockouts. Italy, who are the holders of this tournament, Theo. We hate to think back to that. It should have come home.
Yeah.
It went to Rome, Theo, but surely not again.
Well, they always do it. They come together. They're not spoken about that much before the tournament. And under a new manager of Luciano Spalletti, I think they will have enough. I saw him win the Serie A for Napoli, and that shocked everybody. And who knows, could they go on another incredible run? I wouldn't write it off. The likes of Fede Chiesa, who's had a mediocre year for Juventus, I would say, all in all. I know they won the cup, but I know come the Euros, he's just going to turn into a new player and turn up for country. And that 5-2 win over Macedonia to make them qualify for the Euros was a real statement. And let's not forget the new additions from Tottenham. Vicario in goal, he's been top class. Udogi at fullback. I just think they've got a very good player in every role.
I mean, they've got great players in Barella, Bastoni, Chiesa. We've talked about them, but most of all, they're a very strong unit. And it's another team you should never bet against. Because like I said 3 years ago, they won the whole thing.
And if you want to call this the group of death, I think they'll top it. I'm putting them 1st place.
And I won't. I'm going to put them in 2nd place in this group.
Wow, he's still not said his 1st place. And the next country is
Spain, Theo, who've won this tournament 3 times. You look at the last 22 games they've played in the Euros, they've only lost 2. So again, don't write them off.
Well, we're going to disagree on this one, aren't we, Dad? Because the only 2 positions left for both of us is 1st and 3rd. And that's very different for one of... I'd put them in a group of countries that are seen as one of the favourites to win the whole thing. When you've got a midfielder as top class as Rodri, maybe the best midfielder in the world, any team can win with a player like him. Now, I'm going to say the reason I've put Spain 3rd is very simple. I don't think they're good enough at the moment. It's a young squad. They put a lot of faith in the new boys like Lamine Yamal, who's going to be very... I know he's good, Dad, but is he ready?
He's 16 years old, and if they get to the final, it'll be a day after his 17th birthday. Is he good enough?
The problem is, this Spanish team, the manager's unproven. Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal will be a regular from their plans. And I don't think there's enough experience. Morata passed it for me.
No, disagree.
No.
Theo. The last 2 Euros, he's got 6 goals. He's had a cracking season for Atletico.
2 full Euros tournaments.
That's
together, 6 goals.
How many players
have
done that?
I thought you were throwing me off with a stat.
How many players have done that
in 1 Euros tournament? Does anyone know a thing about Le... And he sounds French. Le Normand and Laporte. Are we talking about the French centre-backs from the 3rd team? Or are we talking about the Spanish national team? It's a disgrace, Dad. This team is winning nothing. They're winning niche.
Theo, this is one of the teams who can go all the way. No. Do not write them off, honestly. You're going to get so clipped because they're going to win this group and they're going to be very, very hard to beat.
I can't wait to be clipped, but in that 3rd place, I don't even think they make it through to the next round. This will be the failure of the tournament. Spain will go nowhere.
Group C now, and the first team to talk about is Denmark, Theo, who've got Rasmus Højlund, haven't they, Theo? Who scored 10 goals in the Premier League. You're going to tell me, but you know what? He's not as good as you think. He's not as good as everyone thinks.
Dad, you've always
in fact,
hated
Theo,
him.
you know what? Rasmus Højlund might score a goal against someone, but he will not score against England. For all the things that are not going to happen in this tournament, he will not score against England. If he does score against England, I'm going to put on Thog Mum's pink dress. I'm going to go to the red light district of Hamburg, and I'm going to walk along smiling in a pink dress. That will happen this time.
This is a Denmark team who always turn up at a European tournament. The likes of Joachim Mæhle and Damsgaard are going to turn into Messi and Ronaldo. It always happens. They're going to cause us a problem. They're going to cause us more of an issue than Serbia and Slovenia.
No, they're not. We're going to go out. We're going to beat Denmark 2-0. Denmark will not score against England.
Usually, I'm the positive one. I'm worried about Rasmus, Dad. I'm worried about how they play.
Second place.
Okay,
after all of that, okay, I'm winding you up a bit because they are a solid team who are going to be hard to beat. I think England will beat them. Like I said, 1-0, 2-0.
We agree.
They will get through to the last 16.
Yeah.
Good luck, Denmark.
We agree. Let's go to the next one, and it's a big one.
England, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home, except it probably isn't. But you know what, Theo? I've got a quiz question for you.
Go on.
The last 18 games England have played in the Euros, they've only lost once when it's not been on penalties. Who did they lose to? I
remember this game. You can't forget it, Dad. The invention of the
And the reason I bring that up, Theo,
yeah.
Football is a funny game and horrible things happen. And that's got to be the worst 2 hours of watching football of my life.
It seems very timely for you talking about Vikings knocking us out when we got Denmark in our group. Come on, Dad.
We're not.
Let's talk about the team. We've got 33 players right now. It's going to be broken down to 26 on June the 8th. I think we will have all the regulars, Kane, Saka, Bellingham, Stones, Maguire, Pickford, Walker, Foden, Grealish. I think they'll all make it again. But let's talk about some of the new names that will make it so we have that edge to win the whole competition. The reason we are favourites for the first time in recent years. Trent in midfield, I'm buzzing by. He got that goal against Bosnia, creative. Ollie Watkins, he'll be on the end of some of those balls, maybe off the bench, stretches out defences. That is brilliant. Cole Palmer, he's a finisher. It gives Harry Kane another option. And then you've got the water carriers, the new boys, Kobbie Mainoo, Conor Gallagher, Adam Wharton probably won't make the team, but that's a new midfield. We were talking about Jordan Henderson and how it really held us back.
Yes.
Him in the midfield. I feel like we've got a fresh new team with Bellingham in there too. It's just exciting.
It's very exciting. Now, the way I break it down here, we have 5 world-class players. I'm talking about players who could almost walk into any team in the world. And those 5 players for me, Saka, Foden, Bellingham, Rice. Well, a lot of people wouldn't say Rice, but I would. And Harry Kane. Those are world class. But what excites me almost as much is that below that, you've got players like Grealish, like Eze, like Maddison, like Mainoo, who's got to go on that coach or that plane.
Forward line, incredible.
Yes.
Defensively, a little bit more of a problem. Yes, Kyle Walker, I'm sure, will start every game. So will Stones and Maguire. Maybe Branthwaite could push Maguire for his position. But left back, who's going to be that driving forward? Will it be Luke Shaw? He seems to be constantly injured. It's going to be Kieran Trippier, most likely.
Yes, it is. Now, we've got a good defence, but what we don't have is a world-class defence. So this is not the perfect team.
No, either way, we'll talk about it at the later stages. This is just a group stage video.
Yeah.
I'm putting England first in the group.
Well, the big question mark for me, Theo, I don't doubt the technical and tactical talent of our team.
Yeah.
Psychologically, can we become winners? I was born in 1968. That's 2 years after we won the World Cup. We haven't won a World Cup. We haven't won a Euros in over 50 years. And part of it, it's in the mind. Can the likes of Foden and Cole Palmer and Bellingham, these young players, have a winner's mentality? First place, we're going to win 2 and draw 1.
Okay.
Serbia now. We've got to talk about Alexander Mitrovic because he's gone out to Saudi and scored 28 goals in 28 games.
Still got it.
You've also got Vlahovic. You've got some good players in that Serbia team. And this is a country that is so passionate about football.
Oh, they love it. And the fact it's in Germany, Dad, there's a big Serbian population there. The games will be rocking. It'll be nothing like Qatar. When we talk about the clubs of Red Star and Partizan, when they come together for the country, you're getting 2 crazy atmospheres into one stadium. Dad, I'm very excited to see if they can push them over the line. And by the way, we both mentioned Denmark are very good, but there could be some cracks within that squad to allow Serbia to sneak second.
And I think Denmark against Serbia is an absolutely critical game. It could go either way, but I think Denmark are just gonna maybe edge that, or maybe it'll be a draw.
So Serbia, it's funny, they could go into complete calamity, or they can win all their games. I think they're going to have a little bit of issues with the squad. I'm going to put them in 3rd place. I think they will win one of their games, which will allow them to qualify through to the next rounds.
1 win, 1 draw, 1 defeat, 3rd place, they qualify. And last but not least is Slovenia, Theo. We all know about Jan Oblak, but you want to talk about another young player who's smashing it in Germany.
The Leipzig forward, Benjamin Sesko. He is the Slovenian number 9. He's the one that could cause England problems.
Yes.
Every game England have got a problem now. We've got to face Vlahovic, or then we have to play Sesko, or in Denmark we have to play Højlund. I think there could be a lot of goals in this group. Look, if he's scoring goals for fun and the rest of the team is solid, they could sneak third or second. I don't know. This could be anyone's. It's whichever group plays well as a team the best. And Benjamin Sesko in Euro qualifiers, I think, got 5 goals and a few assists as well. So it clearly works for country 2. I just don't know how good the rest of the squad is outside of him.
Do you know what, Theo? They are rank outsiders according to the bookies. It's a lovely country. Again, they love the football in Slovenia.
They do.
4th place. I think they get 1 or 2 points.
And when you've got Jan Oblak between the sticks, you've got one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Same at Atleti. We know how good he is. So let's see what happens. But I am going to put them 4th, like Thogdad does. That's all that's left. I'm sorry, but good luck.
Group D now. Talk to me about Austria, Theo. It's basically Germany in disguise, isn't it?
That should be treated, Dad. They're going to be playing a lot of their games as if they're at home. Ralf Rangnick's the manager.
Yeah.
How well does he know Germany? You know, an ex-Bayern coach, and Bayern tried to buy him, but he said, no, I want to focus on Austria, a big Euros tournament coming up. That's exactly what he's doing, Dad. So it's exciting, Austria. Can they break the Netherlands-France stronghold? They've got experience with the likes of Lima, Sabitzer, who's had a very good year with Dortmund, Arnautovic up top. I mean, if he decides to click, could be goals galore.
Do you know what? He loves these tournaments, doesn't he? He's 35 years old now, but he's still going. I think the bookies put Austria 3rd, but is that realistic?
Well, they finished 2nd in the Euro 2020. I think there's a chance for Austria to be a bit of an underdog story, but I'm still going to put them 3rd, probably because of how difficult the group is.
Do you know what? I think the hills are alive with the sound of 4th place. I'm sorry, Austria. They're going to hate me for this. I mean, I've joked that it's basically Germany. The key game here is Austria against Poland. I just got a feeling that Poland might nick it. France, Theo, who the bookies say are the 2nd favourites. Now, let's talk about Antoine Griezmann, Theo, because the last 25 games he's played in the World Cups and Euros, 11 goals and 7 assists. We'll talk about Mbappe later. How good is Griezmann?
Incredible, Dad, but wasn't good enough in the Dortmund 2nd leg of the Champions League, was he? But he's one of these players that performs for the national team well.
Yes.
And I think most of the news right now is Kylian Mbappe to Madrid.
Yes.
How's that going to affect the dressing room when everybody's talking about that big money move?
Well, France are a funny one because sometimes they absolutely bottle big tournaments and sometimes they go out and win them. What France have, Theo, is a winning mentality, and that comes from the gaffer, from Didier Deschamps. And if they win this Euros, Theo, he will have won the Euros and the World Cup as a player and a manager. That's the first time that will happen. Kylian Mbappe is simply superb. Last 18 games in big tournaments, 12 goals, which, by the way, is the same as Harry Kane.
And his new teammates, the Real Madrid boys, Tchouaméni and Camavinga, playing together in that midfield will be a real threat when it does. We'll talk about some of the new boys in their team. Thuram, he's a Serie A winner again. Kolo Muani, I mean, he was in the World Cup final team quick. N'Golo Kante's back in the squad. What do you think about that from the Saudi League? People are starting to rate the Saudi League.
Theo, I think that is brilliant. Kante is just one of my favourite players from the last 10 years, and to have him back is very special. I think France will absolutely smash this group, and they need to win it, because then they're going to play the 3rd place from another group, maybe the likes of Turkey.
I'm going that 1st place. Do you agree?
Absolutely agree. The Netherlands, and I've got a little Thogdad fact to kick things off, Theo, because the Netherlands have got a little bit of a record in the Euros. Every game they play in the Euros, they score 1.67 goals. Nobody has scored more in history. But what do you think of the present squad? Obviously, we know the likes of Virgil van Dijk and Ake, Donny Marlin, you know very well. Talk to me about Netherlands.
I just spoke to Seedorf at Wembley, and off camera, he told me he's quietly excited.
Yes.
Quietly excited, because people aren't saying the Dutch are going to win this thing. But that's when you win it. Nobody thought Italy would win the Euros, but the Dutch are kind of underrated, and they did go far. They caused the World Cup the biggest problem for Argentina. It came down to pens. We can't forget that. This is a more relaxed team. They're going to be playing good football under Koeman. Xavi Simons is in the form of his life and doesn't have a club next year yet. So he'll be offering all his positions up to whoever wants him the most. Another player playing for Scouts will be Memphis Depay. Atleti have confirmed they will not renew his contract, which means where's he going to be next year again?
Do you know what, Theo?
Players, they perform when they need to be under the cameras.
They do, but I'd rather eat a pasty than a Depay. But Xavi Simons, Theo, I think 8 goals and 13 assists last season. 21 years old, plays for Leipzig. Where's he going to end up? Man United, Liverpool?
Well, that's for a separate video. Either way, he'll perform for his country.
He
Jeremy
will.
Frimpong, where will he end up? He'll probably stay at Leverkusen with the way they're playing, but he's been one of the best right backs in the whole of Europe, guaranteed.
And you've not even mentioned Cody Gakpo from Liverpool. So that we've mentioned some superb footballers. This team can go a long way. 2nd place in the group.
2nd place, I agree, which means We've got one team left, and I don't think we're rating them highly.
Poland now, and they've got Lewandowski, Theo,
Yes.
35 years old. He scored over 80 goals for his country, got 19 goals, I think, in La Liga last season. Has he still got it?
Dad, for Barcelona, I think he's extending. He's just enjoying the Barceloneta.
Yeah.
The light, the sunlight, the great lifestyle. Lewandowski's past it now. He's not going to win them the Euros.
Disagree, Theo.
I
I
don't
think he's a
the same
superb footballer. I think he's going to score goals at this
No, I
tournament.
don't see him. And actually, he doesn't often score goals for Poland that regularly in this tournament. He's had a few over the years. It's an aging team, actually. It's not just the problem of Lewandowski. Bednarek, I think still at Southampton,
Yes,
now back
he
in
is.
the Premier League. Kiwior at
Yes.
Arsenal, he's been important
He has.
when he's had to come into the
Yeah.
squad. I don't know, Dad. I'm putting them fourth. It's the only position left. It's obvious. I can't see them being above the others.
I think they're going to get third place, Theo, and I think they're going to get enough points to qualify. Group E now, and let's start with Belgium, because it's always
Yes.
a Belgian, isn't it, Theo? And usually it's Kevin De Bruyne, the master of the assist. But let's talk about Romelu Lukaku, because his goal-scoring record has been fabulous recently.
Well, in the Euro qualifiers, Dad, he broke the record for the most goals scored, and he didn't even play in all the games.
Yeah.
I can confirm that his record was 14 goals in 8 appearances. 14 goals in about 500 minutes is abnormal.
It's a goal every, 37 minutes, something like that, which is ridiculous. Why didn't Man United keep him?
I know, and to think that he will consistently have KDB behind him, that would be a threat. They're going to score a lot of goals, aren't they, Dad? And what's funny is Lukaku and KDB is almost as old as their manager. 38-year-old Tedesco, previously at Leipzig. He's been in this role since 2023. A very interesting manager to have. He's clearly going to be playing some, full throttle football.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of Premier League talent here, isn't there? Like Yuri Tielemans, of course, Leandro Trossard.
And they always
And
perform,
one of
don't
my
they?
favourites, Theo,
Yeah.
Jeremy Doku. I think within the next couple of years, he's going to be smashing up the records in the Premier League.
That 3-3 draw we got in a friendly, Belgium made it so difficult for us. Tielemans took his chance. Leandro Trossard, by the way, let's give him some credit. He's been unreal for Arsenal, so coming into the national team. Jeremy Doku's going to stretch out teams in the Euros tournaments. That's actually how I first found out about Doku. It was when he played the Russia World Cup, and he was coming off the bench, raw pace, beating players for fun, and I think he'll do it again. I'm still putting them first. By far the favourites to win this group.
It's an easy group, and they will win it by miles. Romania.
Yali, mad in Romania.
Theo, I'm going to start dancing soon. That is my favourite song. But actually, I'm going to go on strike right now, Theo.
Why?
Because Denis Politic from Dinamo ex-Bolton is not in the squad, it seems.
What?
Which is
I'm
ridiculous.
never singing that song again.
Radu Dragusin, Theo, the Spurs 22-year-old defender.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing. I don't really know much of this
Well,
squad.
we've watched Hadji in midfield
Yeah,
for
of course,
Rangers,
of course,
but now
yeah.
he's no longer there. Up top, they've got George Puskas.
Yes.
Not quite the Puskas that we know. If they work well together, they could push for second or third on qualification. I'm going to put them in third place.
I'm going to put them in third place, but I'm not sure they'll qualify. Slovakia now. We were drinking with a Slovakian last night after paddle tennis, and he says that Slovakia are going to win the Euros.
No, he didn't.
Do you agree?
He said Netherlands are going to win.
Yeah, I think he did, actually.
And actually, I mean, look, they've got an experienced team. We have to respect Hamšík and Skriniar are still going, especially Hamšík. Since I was born,
Yeah.
he's been playing football. Anyway, Dubravka in goal
Yes.
is good.
Yes.
Lobotka in the DM spot, very solid. We saw how good he was in that Napoli Campione year. I've actually got a signed shirt from that year as well, which is pretty cool. So I'm sorry, I put them fourth.
And I agree, Theo. There's not enough in this squad. They're 500 to 1 outsiders, fourth place. And finally, Ukraine, Theo. They've got the advantage of being in a fairly easy group. And in the likes of Mudryk and Zinchenko, they've got players who are smashing it in the Premier League.
I was surprised by how much potential was in this squad. It's one of the youngest squads in European qualifiers. And we haven't even mentioned the likes of Dovbyk up
Yes.
top. One of the La Liga top goal scorers at Girona. He's a bit of a target man. He's going to cause a problem. I noticed the Shakhtar midfielder. I forgot his name now, but I'm going to put him on the screen. He is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think he's like Sudakov or something. He's going to be the next big thing.
Yes.
And then Andre Lunin in goal, who went on the whole Champions League run, playing in very difficult games, keeping calm, making important reflex saves. He'll be, of course, between the sticks. I can see Ukraine getting that second spot in this group.
I think Ukraine will finish second and qualify.
Group F now, Thogdad, who are we starting with?
Excuse me, that's my bit.
Hey, I can announce
Group
Group.
F now, Theo. We're going to start with Czechia, aren't we, Theo? And surely
Yes.
it's all about the West Ham lads, Souček and Soufal.
Well, it is, but let's not forget the man that gave Scotland nightmares in the last Euro tournament in Hampden Park. That's Patrick Schick, Thogdad.
Oh, Theo, you can't swear on this video. Kids are watching.
Sorry, I'll call him Will and E for the
Okay.
time being then. He's got 7 goals in 12 starts for Leverkusen, who won the Bundesliga.
I'll tell you what, I remember going to Czechia, Theo, and watching them beat England. That was a few years back.
In Prague, there's actually a few Slavia and Sparta Prague players are in there as well.
Yes, there are. So, do you know what? I think Czechia will finish third. I don't think they'll qualify though.
Yeah, I've got them third as well, because there is another team in second we're going to talk about shortly who are going to shock a lot of people.
Portugal, and we were talking about them last night. You said they've got no chance, but Theo, look at the stats. The last 7 times they've been at the Euros, they've got to the knockouts. Look at qualifying. 10 out of 10, 36 goals. 2 goals conceded.
Okay, boomer.
All the stats suggest that this is a team who can win the Euros.
Well, I know Roberto Martinez will want gold. You know, they went pretty far at the World Cup. They've now got a lot of new boys in that squad who can create that added depth. But will Cristiano Ronaldo try and make it about himself and start himself up top, causing less space for the likes of Gonzalo Ramos and Rafael Leao, these boys who actually deserve to be in the team throughout?
Theo,
this is the problem in Portugal.
Age is just a number, and Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the best players ever to grace the turf. You look at his Euros record, Theo, 14 goals, 6 assists. You look at his season in Saudi, which is not as bad a league as some people say, 35 goals. He's scoring more than a goal a game. No, he's not going to create a problem. I know there might have been some problems at the World Cup. He's a guy who wants to play every minute of every game. Why? Because he's a forward.
Dad, I think we're on different wavelengths here. What I'm trying to say is there's 11 players that deserve to be on the pitch, and he is not one of them.
Disagree.
I still think they'll top the group. They've got quality. I love the likes of Antonio Silva at centre-back. The new and the old. Ruben Diaz, of course. Dallo and Cancelo can be the fullbacks. Palhinha behind Bernardo and Bruno. Great midfield. I think Portugal, without Ronaldo, can actually go even further in this European competition. They can be one of the potential winners.
And I love João Felix there. I didn't used to, but then I saw a few games that he plays. He is a real talent. First place. Georgia now, which by the way is a sensational country. They love to party, great food, great wine, absolutely passionate about football.
I know, yeah.
The problem is they've got one player who's half the squad value. That is Kvara at Napoli, Theo.
I know. Look, they've never played in Euros before.
Yeah.
Let's deep that. Never have they been to a Euros before. So imagine the fans are going to turn up in numbers. They're going to be proud. And I love Georgia. My mates Lasha Dvali and of course Kvili, who both play at Apoel. I saw them win the league with them. We were out partying into the very late hours of the night. Yeah.
I would love Georgia to surprise, but I don't think they will. I'm just going to be honest and objective. 4th place.
Well, I think it'll be great to see my boys out there. I will go to a few Georgia games. Georgi Chankvetadze, they just call him Georgie because it's a lot easier to say. The boy from Watford. Watch out for him. Very creative midfielder. People don't really know about him just yet, playing the Championship, but the way he's going to create for Kvili and Kvara and other players who might be around the Georgian team, just watch out. I put them 4th. They're one of the least expected teams to go through, but I would like to see them score a few goals and have a nice story.
Come on, Georgia. And last but not least is Turkey, Theo. And the support for this team in Germany will be sensational.
Mental. It's like a
Millions
home game.
of Turks. It's going to be like home games, Theo.
Yeah.
So talk to me about Turkey. You met Arda Güler the other day.
Well, I did, and I sent him my luck for the Champions League final, and now he's a Champions League winner, the young man. And to think he'll be in that 10 role every minute Turkey play, this is Arda Güler's time to shine. Aktakoglu on the wing, who caused big problems for Manchester United in the Champions League. And Çalhanoğlu, captain, who loves the Yali, Yali, Yali. He loves the man in Romania. He made that song viral. Euro 2020, people like Tom Garrett said that Turkey was going to be the dark horse. They were rubbish. This time round, they've actually got some big potential. I'm putting them 2nd.
This is an easy-ish group. 2nd place.
2nd place. And that ends our Euro group stages. Comment down below if we're a mug. We want to hear your opinion. And by the way, if you're going, we may see you out there at some of the games. Thank you for watching. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.